Peru has a pre-Hispanic rich culture, beautiful places to discover, wild nature, and an extraordinary worldwide known gastronomy. The land of Incas is one of the favorites for all tourists in Latin America and the world, but we assure you that you can do more in this place than visiting the Machu Picchu and eating ceviche. Let's get to know more about Peru. Here are the 10 places you must visit during your next travels to Peru. Number 1. Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu is also known as the Inca's lost city. The Machu Picchu is one of the 7 wonders of the modern world and is a must-see place in Peru. This ancient Inca city, located 2,100 feet above sea level and in the Andes, was hidden for many centuries behind the mountains and vegetation, until 1911, when Hiram Bingham discovered it. The visitors can explore Machu Picchu in 2 different ways. If you are an adventurer, you can walk 40 kilometers for 4 days across the woods, valleys, and ancient paths. But if you prefer an easier route, you can take a train to Aguascalientes and then walk or take a bus to get to the ruins. We recommend you hire a guide so you won't miss any important highlights. Number 2. Cusco. This city was the capital of the Incas Empire, and now is the capital of the Cusco region and province. It is also the center of Quechua's culture and a World Heritage Site. It is one of the most visited cities in the country, with more than 2 million visitors per year. It is the starting point for all the tourists who decide to visit Machu Picchu, located at the northeast of Cusco. You can start your walk around this city in the Plaza de Armas, surrounded by hotels, restaurants, stores, and places of interest. The cathedral is one of these places. Its facade has a Renaissance style, and the interior a Baroque style with numerous beautiful colonial paintings. Next to the cathedral, you can find the Compañía de Jesús Church and the Triumph Church. If you hire a tour, it will get you to visit the historic wall, the Quiricancha, or the Sun Temple, the Santo Domingo Church, and the Sacsayhuaman Man. Number 3. Lima. Lima is the capital of the country, and it is the biggest city. Founded by Francisco Pizarro in 1535, the Spanish were here for around 300 years. Nowadays, Lima is a mixture of culture, history, and modernity. Here you can find the cathedral, beautiful and enormous churches, monasteries, and convents. You can also see Inca architecture scattered around the city like Huacas and the Pachacamac. There are other things to do as well. You can go to museums, art galleries, a park with light shows, malls, or take a look at the Pacific Ocean. Lima is also known as the best place to start trying Peruvian cuisine, which has a diversity of ingredients from the coast, mountain, and Amazon regions. The signature dish, ceviche, is something you cannot miss. Number 4. Iquitos, Amazon jungle. Iquitos is the capital of the Loreto department located in the Amazon North region of Peru. It was founded in 1539 and known in those times as El Dorado. For travelers, this city offers a wide range of activities that you couldn't find in other places in the country. In Iquitos, you can swim in the rivers, walk through the jungle, look at its flora and fauna, and see unforgettable, beautiful landscapes. Make sure you don't miss La Casa de Hierro, a place designed by the architect of the Eiffel Tower in Paris. Number 5. Nazca Lines. The Nazca Desert has a stripe along the northern Pacific coast on an arid plateau. The famous Nazca Lines, located between the towns of Nazca and Palpa, were created between 200 BC and 700 AD. You can find large drawings of simple stylized lines of spiders, monkeys, lizards, and human figures. These figures have stood the test of time. But how? The climate of this area, desert, dry, and stable without wind, has helped maintain the lines to this day. You can see the lines in a better way, from the sky by renting a plane. Then there is an observation tower on the Pan-American Highway, and here you can see some of the figures. Number 6. Lago Titicaca. Puno Puno is a port city by the Titicaca's Lake. The city is not attractive at all, but is the best starting point. To visit the famous floating Amantini and Tequila Islands located in the lake. Titicaca is the highest navigable lake in the world. On Amantini Island, you can see the best views of the lake, and you can stay in one of the typical traditional houses of this zone, called Los Lloros. In Tequila, you can enjoy restaurants and an environment of peace and tranquility. Number 7. Chanchan, Trujillo. Trujillo is a moderate-sized city in northwestern Peru near the Pacific coast. The city, founded in 1534 among the 4 Chimu settlements of the Incas, is a World Heritage Site. Trujillo is close to the pre-Columbian site of Chanchan, the largest mud city in the ancient world, and the Juan Chico Spa. The archaeological site of Chanchan covers about 20 square kilometers and was the capital of the Chimu culture. This culture represents one of the greatest examples of refinement of pre-Inca cultures before the 15th century, about 5 kilometers south of Trujillo. In the district of Moche are the Huaca del Sol and the Moon, which are other archaeological complexes that are very interesting to see. Number 8. 69 Lagoon, Ancash. If we were to recommend a hike that you can take on a weekend trip, that would be the hike to Laguna 69 in Yonge. This trek offers ever-changing views, decorated with immense waterfalls, rivers, vegetation, and the snowy peaks of the Cordillera Blanca of Peru. An excellent dose of nature in a single-day hike. Come here hiring a tour from Huaraz so you can take a walk around here. Number 9. Señor de Cipan, Chiclayo. The Museum of Royal Tombs of Cipan in Lambayeque is an impressive museum where you will find the jewels of the gold and silver tomb of the Lord of Cipan. The tombs of the Lord of Cipan, located 35 kilometers southeast of the city of Chiclayo, and the Bruning Archaeological Museum is 12 kilometers away. The Bruning is an excellent museum with exhibits showing the diverse cultures of northern Peru, including Vicus, Mochica, Lambayeque, and Chimu. There are exhibits of pottery and ceramics, textiles, mummies, and other elements of these civilizations, and exquisite gold pieces such as necklaces, vests, masks, and jewelry. Number 10. Huacachina, Ica. Driving 5 hours to the south of Lima and 5 kilometers from Ica, you can find the oasis in the Huacachina Desert. It's a place in the middle of the desert of the Peruvian coast. Between the 40s and 50s, it was one of the most exclusive Peruvian spas. Today, it retains its charms and is the perfect place for an adventure trip and romantic stays. There is so much to do in Huacachina, including visits to the wineries, flights to pass over the famous place of the Nazca Lines, desert rides in off-road cars, and so much more. Peru is undoubtedly a country that you can't miss if you're in Latin America. It has it all, the Andes, the desert, and the jungle. Also, delicious food and a lot of ancient cultures to discover. What are you waiting for? Start packing your bags and spend your next vacation in Peru. That's all for now.